Audi's popular Q5 range has been facelifted in Australia with updated engines, new technology and fresh styling inside and out. It's all part of a bid to edge ahead of the BMW X3 and Mercedes-Benz GLC. Has it worked? Let's find out. The updated Q5 lands in showrooms bearing the biggest set of changes since the second generation model first touched down in 2017. Prices are up marginally across the 7 model Q5 lineup, matched by updated mild hybrid drivetrains, a sleek new design including a new single frame grille and a revised interior sporting a contemporary 12.3-inch touchscreen display with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. And yes, gone is the predecessor's finicky centre rotary dial. Now, as superficial or even trivial as it may seem, the installation of a lot of that new technology, particularly the larger screen and virtual cockpit display, have elevated the cabin ambience of the Q5. It was already a really nice, Teutonic, understated place to be, but now it makes you feel a little bit more special as well. Sitting at the halfway point of the Q5 lineup is the petrol-powered 45 TFSI Sport driven here, which plays to the Q5's interior strengths with quality materials, leather-appointed chairs, a dark headlining, wireless phone charging, 4 USB points and 3-zone climate control. The petrol engine makes 183 kilowatts and 370 newton meters and is augmented by a 12-volt mild hybrid system that softly shuts down the engine at low speeds and in coasting scenarios thanks to a starter alternator. I've got to say, be it petrol or diesel form, the entry-level Q5 engines do a really admirable job. They belie their small capacities with lots of low-down torque, usable mid-range and quite a sprightly top end. And both the petrol and the diesel are relatively fuel efficient as well. We reckon the petrol probably has a small edge in terms of driveline refinement, NVH levels and all the rest, but there is a lot of merit for the diesel if you're into country driving because it's a really efficient drivetrain and you'll have no problems getting 1,000 k's from a tank over longer distances. Officially, the petrol engine sips on a combined fuel rating of 8 litres per 100 k's, while also being able to dispatch 0 to 100 kilometres an hour in 6.3 seconds, thanks in part to its quick-thinking 7-speed dual-clutch transmission. Yes, you'll get the occasional hesitation upon taking off, but otherwise the gearbox is swift and effective. The real point of difference for the Q5, at least at an entry level, is the installation of that much vaunted Quattro all-wheel drive system. It does help separate it from both Benz and BMW in terms of that driveline configuration, and it enables these cars to feel really well tied down, really safe and really sure-footed in a mix of conditions. I've got to say there is a real underlying sporty premise to the Q5 and a lot of that is owed to the Quattro all-wheel drive system. It rarely feels out of its depth and it really imbues this car with a sense of security and solidity on the road. Riding on steel springs and multi-link suspension as standard, the 45 TFSI Sport has undergone minor changes underneath aimed at improving ride comfort and road holding. Now, if you think of the BMW X3 as the sporty pick of the bunch and the Mercedes-Benz GLC as the more comfort-oriented option, well, I like to think of the Audi Q5 as somewhere in between. It does have a lot of those sporty qualities, thanks in part to that aforementioned all-wheel drive system. The steering is nicely weighted, consistent with the way that it responds to changes in direction, and the body is well controlled as well. It's not quite as outrightly sporty as something like the X3, but it's not a bad interpretation of it as well. And I've got to say, on a twisting piece of tarmac, it's quite a bit of fun for an SUV. The 5-seat Q5 cements its place with a functional interior offering adequate room for 4 adults, split folding seats and 2 ISOFIX attachment points. Further back, a carryover 520-litre boot offers room for a couple of full-size suitcases or a designer pram. That space extends to 1,520 litres with the rear seat stowed and is accessed standard spine electric tailgate. The Audi Q5 is offered with a subpar 3-year warranty in Australia, as well as the option of servicing packages based on 12-month, 15,000 kilometre intervals. Now, although the foundations are largely the same as before, the changes that Audi has made to the Q5 are meaningful, and they do elevate this mid-size SUV to new heights. As for whether the Q5 is good enough to beat the Mercedes-Benz GLC or the BMW X3, well, we're going to await a full comparison test before we get to that verdict. But on initial impression, it's a really impressive machine.